over the next year or two, it's going to be very painful. I am disappointed that the government is allowing a real tragedy to happen. The numbers I'm hearing are there are 2 million foreclosures coming. Just to put that in some kind of context, 2 million foreclosures would be the equivalent of if every homeowner living in Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Rhode Island were about to lose their home. And instead of taking steps to try to salvage this, the government seems to be willing to just allow this to happen. I think the lesson we have to learn, or actually are relearning in the housing bubble, is two things. The first is there's just so much housing people can afford. And the second lesson we have to learn or relearn is that housing is first and foremost a place where people live, and only secondarily an investment. The rule of thumb used to be you could afford 2 to 3 times your income. So if you made $100,000, you could afford a $200,000 to $300,000 house. And during this bubble, it got completely out of whack. You had, in California, the ratio, instead of being 2 to 1, became 8 to 1. I think that with the run-up in prices, people began to think of housing as this great investment. And so a lot of people stretched beyond what they could afford. Somehow we've got to get the market back to where fundamentally people buy houses they know they can afford over the long term, and hopefully they go up in price over a long, long period of time. Housing generally tracks inflation or does slightly better, but it's not the investment where you go in and a year from now you've doubled your money. That just is the wrong psychology, and I think it's part of what the current market is suffering from.